Whenever you're ready.
Hello, and hello everybody.
Hey y'all.
And welcome
Hello, it's me. I was wondering if you'd like to come and watch an episode. Anyway, Adele.
Hey, really?
Oh Jesus, I walked right into that shit. I mean that stuff. I walked bleep.
Who sings that?
Not me.
Clearly. Okay, let's try it again.
Okay, ready?
Hey everybody. Let's try it again. 1 and a 2 and a 1, 2, 3,
4.
Hey everybody.
Hey y'all.
And welcome
to this episode of
Here we go.
How many times have we done this?
A million freaking times. Here we go. 1 and a 2 and a 1, 2, 3.
Hey y'all.
Hey everybody, and welcome to this episode of
Smithandwaker,
where we're going to talk about everything
women,
motorcycles,
and fun.
Yep. And did you know there's always room
for one more?
For one more.
I love that tagline.
I do too.
Yeah, I love that we have totally commandeered it and made it our own and shared it with all of you.
And it so applies in everything we do. Everything we do.
It does.
Super cool.
And by the way, fun fact, my hair's in my mouth.
That's not a fun fact.
Fun fact, today, the day we are recording this, is January 8th, 2022. Do you know what today is?
Happy anniversary to Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary to Happy anniversary.
Yep, it's
happy anniversary.
Yeah,
Happy anniversary.
In case you didn't catch on to that, it's our. That was awkward. Let's do that again. Happy anniversary. Because that was even more awkward.
We made it a whole year.
Yes, we did. We have. It's our 1 year anniversary of recording Smith and Waker episodes on the YouTubes.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah, we did take that little break when we rode this year, which is what we've been going over for a little bit now. I keep seeing a reflection in my glasses, so forgive me if I'm a little cross-eyed for a minute, because my eyes have to adjust a little bit. Anyway.
I can't see my notes if I take mine off.
Yeah, mine are blurry. They're there. Anywho, we did take a little bit of a break for riding because...
Yeah, I think we might do that fairly often
now.
Yeah. Riding seasons comes the priority, go figure.
Yeah, but now that I've figured out that we can do shorter videos instead of cinematic length... Grab your popcorn, folks.
Yeah.
Get comfortable.
Although there's nothing wrong with popcorn.
No, there's not at all.
Extra butter.
But yeah, I think that little short episodes throughout the year, just kind of saying where we're at.
Yeah, and we did a lot last year, and as we've gone through, this is like number 3 of a group of them that we were doing, because there were so many things that we wanted to talk about that we would have been here for days.
Yeah, this episode we actually broke out into a different episode too, because we were going to do the Dells trip in this episode, but I have like 200 and some pictures from the Dells episode, from the Dells trip. So
thank God she takes pictures.
I do. I know some of you are like, God, another one, but you will thank me one day when I'm no longer here.
We thank you when you are here, just in case you're wondering.
Okay, that was a moment. Anyway, moving on.
So today we're going to talk about
a few rides.
The Waterfall Ride.
The Waterfall Ride. Paws for Paws, the Pep and Ride, the Dinner Ride, to St. Paul Brewing, our Ladies Friday Tippy Canoe Ride. That was fun. Monica and I did a queso ride. I planned a ride, then I got sick, and Monica had to do it by herself. And Friendsgiving.
Yeah.
And then...
all good.
Yeah.
All good stuff.
Then the next episode we'll talk about Wisconsin Dells. The next episode we'll talk about, after that, Colorado. And then after that, I am super duper excited, like it can't get here fast enough. We're going to bring a couple of ladies in, and we're going to talk about mental health and motorcycling, which is something that's near and dear to all of our hearts. If you've ridden with us, we talk about mental health a lot.
And freely. And without judgment.
Yeah.
Which is kind of the point of doing it.
Yep. Changing the outlook and the agenda, that's not the right word, but the atmosphere surrounding that. I'm not finding the right word for that, but you know what I mean.
Stereotype. We're going to break the stereotype.
That.
Or the stigma.
I knew it was an S word.
That's it.
It was an S word.
We're going to break the shit.
Yeah.
Stuff.
So anyway, Waterfall Rides. So at the beginning of last year, riding season, we had made a whole list of rides that we were going to do. And as the season progressed, first of all, when we made the list, we didn't expect that it was going to turn into what it turned into. Which is why all of the rides were based out of St. Paul Harley, because we were like, we'll just make it easy, and the people that want to ride with us can come here. And then y'all started coming in from all over, and it wasn't always convenient. We appreciate that you did that very much. This coming season will be a little structured, a little different.
We're going to try to do it better.
Yeah. Lots of learning experiences. But so as we started going through this, we started realizing, hey, it would be fun to do like the Wings ride when we went to Mankato.
Mm-hmm.
And then I love waterfalls. I'm an earth sign, but I love water. So I thought, let's put together a waterfall ride. And I am often over-ambitious, and Monica has to pull me back in my over-ambitiousness. And so I had planned to do this, and I freaked out. I got in my head. Do you remember that? And I called you, and I was like, what am I doing? I'm not even from here. I don't know these roads. Where are all the waterfalls? I've got to put them all together.
I'm from here, and I don't know all these roads. So she's super gutsy about just getting out there.
Yeah. So we literally sat down and just made a list of all the waterfalls. We Googled waterfalls in Minnesota, and then we kind of picked an area that we wanted to ride around and ride to. And that's kind of how it all was born. And we created this waterfall ride, and it ended up being about 175 miles from start to finish.
And I think, just a side note, I think that's how you and I make a good team.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got in your head that day, and I was able to say, I was able to not be in your head with you, and be able to say, okay, let's just do it. Let's just sit down and do it. And you've done that a million times for me as well, where, I just wasn't feeling it, and you could say, nope, let's work through it.
Yeah.
So if you can find yourself a Mollie.
And a Monica. Yeah, but you can't have my Monica.
Or my Mollie.
Yeah.
We'll share. We'll share a little bit, but not full time.
Not full time. Yeah. Okay. Anyway,
more awkwardness.
Yeah, more awkwardness. What is going on today?
It's a love fest.
It is. You know what's going on is we don't have our coffee. I'm having to drink water over here, and it's mucking me up. Anyway, waterfall rides on task.
Waterfall.
Pocus, Molly. Pocus. That's not why you're here. So we started out in Hastings. We started at St. Paul. Harley-Davidson, we left. We went to the Vermilion Falls in Hastings, which were beautiful. There was a wonderful little musician, Mother Goose.
Right there, right? There's pictures right there.
There's pictures up there. Musician, who I didn't get a picture of. Remember, he was setting up in the little area.
Mm-hmm.
Hung out there. That was really, it was really pretty. I didn't expect Vermilion Falls to be that pretty. Right there in the middle of town. That is one thing about Minnesota. In the middle of town, everywhere, waterfalls.
Right. Well, and we're known for our water.
Yes, well, there is that.
The land of 10,000 lakes, and they say that there's
12,000
or millions or whatever. There's lots.
Uh-huh.
More than 10,000 for sure.
Yeah. So from there we went to Canyon Falls.
Wait, there she is.
And on the way we stopped because we had a few people that needed some fuel, and Monica engaged in a little bit of Cupid shuffle.
Shenaniganery.
Actually, I'm not even going to put it there. We're just going to take a little pause break. Here you go.
Shenanigans. Always shenanigans.
Okay, and we're back. So, let me tell you how
the magic
works.
of editing.
Yes, so I'll say, okay, here we go, and then I'll count to 2, and then I'll say, okay, we're back. So really, we didn't go anywhere, but you went somewhere.
Yeah.
That was really fun, though. It was fun.
We laughed a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and it was super fun to watch the other ladies who are not even with us.
Right. jump
Join
out of their
us.
minivan and grab and jump in line. But it kind of goes to, people see women on motorcycles or anybody on motorcycles, and a lot of times you can't tell if it's a man or woman whenever it's cold.
Yeah.
And they automatically may have all these assumptions about
They
who we
do.
are and what we do.
Yeah, they do have a song. And I'm guilty of it. I mean, I remember even before riding thinking, I was afraid to walk into St. Paul Harley-Davidson because I wasn't sure what I was going to walk into. So I can only imagine that people who haven't taken that chance look at groups of motorcyclists, period, and make assumptions.
And that was a pretty good sized group.
Yeah, that was
And
fun.
then all of a sudden we're dancing in a parking lot of a gas station. So
And people are beeping at us and hollering
Yeah.
at us, and we're laughing and
Oh, it was
giggling and
hilarious.
totally screwing up the steps of the dance.
yeah,
It was all good.
continuing to break those stereotypes.
Yeah.
High five. Love it.
You
Okay.
go, girl.
Girls.
Girl.
So we left Cannon Falls and we went to Strand.
Yes, we did.
That was a beautiful, beautiful area back in
Was.
there. Yeah, it was a bit of a walk back there, so we got some exercise.
I
But
didn't sign up for it, but I did it.
Yeah, you did, especially in motorcycle boots. Good
Yeah.
for you. The whole way down there. Are we there yet? Mom, are we there yet? It was hilarious. Did you just snort?
I did.
So when we left Strand, here's a little tip for those of you that may ride out there. Usually we pre-ride our rides, but with this one, we just threw it together because we wanted to do a fun ride on a Saturday.
Yeah.
It was a pretty day. When you leave Strand, if you turn left, you can leave and you can go a certain way. But if you turn right, you get about a half a mile down the road and it becomes gravel. All gravel. For 5 miles of gravel. Some loose, some packed. Hills, curves, gravel.
Right now, there are a group of people who are watching this saying, it's gravel, who cares? And there's another group that's saying, it's gravel, oh my God. I don't care who you are, your butt puckers just a little bit when you hit gravel.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are.
And we had women of varying riding experience on that ride. And we even had a gentleman with us on that ride. Lisa's husband was with us.
Yep.
And so it was, is this the ride that you got a ticket from the little guy in the...
Oh gosh, it is.
Or not a ticket, but you got pulled
I got
over
pulled
on the
over.
golf cart?
Yeah,
Oh, I forgot about that. Anyway.
I did too until just
That was hilarious. Or no, that wasn't that ride. Was that Pepin? No, that was that ride. I'm sorry. I'm squirreling. So anyway, back to the gravel. I did not realize that we were going to be on gravel for that long. But here's the deal. Once you commit to 18 bikes on a gravel road, you can't really turn 18 bikes around safely.
It's harder to turn around on gravel
Yeah.
than it is to go straight through it
and
hope it ends.
yeah,
That's the
and
point.
Chris, I'm going to talk about you for a minute because you're a rock star. So Chris, I believe she's a little bit of a newer rider.
She is, I think so.
Uh-huh.
I think.
And her heritage was new this year. So there were parts in the road on the side, because it was one of those country roads where it just kind of dumps off, where it was loosely packed, and she got pulled into it. And I'm leading, and Monica's in the back doing sweep, and she got pulled into the gravel. And what happened, Monica?
She got pulled. There was like a rut, like
Uh-huh.
somebody had been through in a rut, and so she kind of got her front wheel stuck in the rut, which took her right off down into the ditch slowly.
Mm-hmm.
And as I went by, because of course you don't just slam on your brakes as
No.
you're going by,
Mm-mm.
as we went by, I'm like checking to see if she's okay
Yeah.
slowly, and
Rear brake tapping.
and I hear her going, I'm good. And when we finally stopped and a bunch of us ran back to her, we helped her get her bike back up, and because it fainted, it was
It was
little,
a true faint.
yeah, it was a really bad faint.
Mm-hmm.
But we got her fainted bike back out of the little ditch, and she got back on it. And I think afterwards we talked about she was still a little leery about doing it, but at that point, like you said, she had committed. We'd all committed at that point. You go slow, you stay off your front brake. We've eventually caught up to you all because we were all moving slow, and everybody took a good big sigh of relief afterwards.
Yeah. And there as much anxiety as you have going into those kind of situations, once you get through them, you can say, I did it, I know I can do it, and I know I did it.
And I don't know that you and I would ever plan to go on gravel, but we've done so much gravel last year that when it happens, you go, it's not my preference, but I'll get through it.
But I want to make sure I want to make sure that I have the skill level and experience. And if you're going to hit gravel, it's better to do it with a group of people than by yourself. Because, you know, in those situations, usually it's kind of a remote area and, you know. Yeah,
very true.
But, Jen, Chris, you're a rock star for that. I talk about that a lot.
She got the fainting award.
Yeah, she got the fainting award for that ride. So we trekked through that, we got through that, and we ended up at this place called Boonies for lunch. It was a pretty long wait, but there was a waterfall in the restaurant. Remember that?
Yes, there was.
True to form. Didn't know that. That was a great surprise. Again, gravel in the parking lot.
Yep.
Yeah. Left there, and we were around Lake Minnetonka.
Beautiful.
If you've never ridden around Lake Minnetonka, there's like a road that kind of goes, it's a big lake. I didn't realize how big it was.
Huge.
You can ride through kind of the middle of the whatever where the inlets and stuff are. It's beautiful, curvy, winding, sweeping roads. It was a gorgeous area.
The houses are fun to look at along there.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to clean them, but they are nice to look at.
They don't want to pay the mortgage either.
No. Okay. Then we ended at Nicollet Island, which I did not know that Minneapolis had an island in the middle of the Mississippi River. And there's houses on it. Like, there's people that live here.
More big mortgages.
Yes, big mortgages because of location, right? So we rode around the whole island, which was fun. I didn't intend to do that, but looking for parking, that was fun. And then we ended up parking and walking, and so then we saw St. Anthony's Falls, and then back to the dealership. So that was an all-day ride.
It was fun. Really good one.
Yeah, it was. It was one of my favorites this season, I will say, for it to be a spontaneous ride. We did lose some people in Minnetonka, because it was more for them, closer to them to go back home, which was kind of fortunate for us in that way, because we had to do some riding downtown Minneapolis to get to St. Anthony, and that would have been a little bit tricky to maneuver all of those bikes through all those stoplights and stuff.
I mean, we struggled to do that if the group is too big on regular old city streets when you hit lights wrong and what have you. But downtown Minneapolis, when every corner has a light, it would have been
and tough. Construction. There was a lot of construction.
Yeah.
But that was the Waterfall Ride. So
nice job on that Waterfall Ride.
Thank you.
Yeah,
nice job to you too for bringing up the tail, even though.
When I think that one started the conversations that started to happen around things like what other kind of groups of rides like that we could do. So
like theme rides.
Yeah, theme rides. Yep. So watch for some more of those coming this year. World's Largest we talked about.
Yeah,
we talked
about
spooky places.
Yeah. Monica has been talking about a World's Largest ride since the middle of last year. So
I'm a destination rider, so I like to unless I'm by myself. If I'm by myself, I can just go and I don't care where I go. But when I have other people with me, like I want to go here and there and there and there and there.
Which is like International Female Ride Day. Explains why we have, we have waypoints that we stop at, which is a lot of fun. I do want to come back to Monica getting pulled over by the golf cart, because that was freaking hilarious. And that's all I'm going to say about that. It was hilarious. Golf carts do carry police officers in the rural areas, and you should be very aware of the very mother goose.
I don't know that we'll have to
very aware. That's all I'm going to say.
We don't have to go into the details of why I got pulled over.
I wasn't going to.
But suffice it to say that there was no way I was going to let someone in a car beat me.
Not necessarily even beat you, but compromise the safety of the riding in the group.
Beat me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I risked life and limb. And then ended up in 6th gear trying to
I was going to say, and 6th gear lessons. Yeah. Yes.
We'll talk about it. If you want to know about it, holler at me. I'll tell you the story. It's pretty darn funny.
Yeah, it is funny. So from there
we did Paws for Paws. Paws, P-A-U-S-E, for Paws, P-A-W-S.
Wait, how did you do it? Okay.
I don't know why I put it up by my face, though. And I don't know. Now I look like a gopher, and it has nothing to do with gophers.
Well, it could. It's Minnesota.
So this was KDWB 101.3 with Dave Ryan in the morning. Yes. So I'm not sure how we even got hooked up. You had a connection, I think, that somebody had asked about advertising with our group about, or just kind of asked about helping promote it a bit.
Dave, I believe his name was Dave Goldstein, was the father of the young woman that runs Paws for Paws. And they were putting this ride together, and they wanted some influence, which I'm flattered that they think that we have that kind of influence, but they wanted some influence in getting more riders present for that ride. So they contacted St. Paul Harley-Davidson, who then reached out to us because they saw the rides that we were doing this season and asked us to help them build a presence for that ride. So that's how we got involved in that. Plus, I love aminals. I love dogs, doggos, and I tolerate cats. If you're a cat person, that's fine. We're allowed to tolerate other animals, but
I wouldn't hurt them, but I wouldn't have them either.
Well, I get a little older, I might have a cat just because they're low maintenance. And they're furry friends, some of them. But dogs have my heart. So
we went.
We met down in
Red Wing.
No, it was Hastings.
Hastings.
It was Hastings.
Hastings at the VFW or the. Because it was September 11th.
Yes, it was.
So it was like dual duty that we were doing. Not only were we riding for the doggos, but we were commemorating September 11th.
Yeah.
Which was fun in itself.
Yeah.
But a huge turnout.
Huge. There's a picture.
Yeah.
Somewhere
I think
there.
that's I'm assuming that's the picture of us all in the street.
Road, yeah.
Yeah, it was super cool.
Yeah. So they started to take the picture without us, and we realized what they were doing. So we took off running. I had my helmet on even. And so we just laid out in the middle of the street because then it was like, don't leave us. And
then we headed back to our
bikes.
To our bikes, and we said, come on, let's get going. So we hopped in line with everybody else that was leaving from there, and we enjoyed, I don't know, half hour, 20 minutes, half hour of a ride.
Yeah, it was beautiful. We went along the river by out of Hastings, and we came up to 61.
And realized that
the people we were riding with were not part of Paws for Paws.
Nope, we had been following these people, and they probably wondered what the hell we were doing.
So so we left Hastings, and I was like, come on, we gotta go, they're leaving. I wanted to get going. So we all pull out, and we get behind this long group of mostly Honda riders. And like Monica said, it was a beautiful ride. Winding roads. Whenever I thought we were going to start heading back towards 61, we'd end up, keep going, and then we turned off and we went down this super beautiful.
Beautiful. We ended up going back to it again.
Yeah, we did.
It was so pretty.
So we get up to 61, and they're turning right. And yes, I did do my left because I don't know my left from my right. Don't judge me. You have your faults too. And Monica's behind me going, turn right. Turn right.
I'm like, go.
And I was like, So I pulled up, I duck walked my bike up next to it was a trike, I think, in front of me. And I said, are you guys with Paws for Paws? And she died laughing and said, I wondered when you were going to catch on to that. I said, thank you for the beautiful ride. And we turned left and headed to the Pioneer Supper Club, where we had lunch along the river there. It was beautiful down in Wabasha. Is that how you say that?
Yeah.
And
what happened down there? Booger found...
Oh.
One of the ladies that was with us sold a bike.
Yeah, Linda.
That she called Booger.
Linda traded her Sportster Booger in.
And when we pulled up, Linda saw Booger in the parking lot.
Yeah.
And so we were trying to figure out whose Booger's new mom was.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Booger's great.
Yes.
And so I said, screw it. So I walked over to a table and I just said, hey, who owns the green bike? And this gal stood up, and Alejandra, has become...
Oh, yeah.
A friend of ours.
She is so charismatic and positive. I don't think she meets a stranger.
I don't think she has a bad day.
No, she just has this light about her that's just
crazy.
Yeah.
She's crazy. She's crazy.
In a good way.
And we love her.
Yeah, we do. So, and she has a little pink bow on the back fender of her bike. So Booger has a bow now.
So, yeah, it was kind of funny that, the original mom found the adopted mom, and they became friends, and they hung out together even a little.
They did. So we left from there, and we went to Naughty Hog and wrapped up the Paws for Paws, and then we left there, And she asked if she could continue to ride with us. Alejandra, I am so sorry. Allie, yes, Alejandra. It's a tongue-tie thing. You know I do this. And we stopped for ice cream.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was number 364, I think it was.
Might be 7.
67th time that we stopped for ice cream at.
Yeah, 175 miles that day. We did.
It was a good day.
It was a good day.
And then the next day?
Was it the next day?
Yeah.
Oh, it was the next day. The very next day, we did a group ride to Pepin.
Yeah, because Alejandra and Linda came out they rode together and came out to meet us at the pickle factory.
Alejandra rode with us.
Oh, maybe, but Linda came out.
Dean came out and met us, yeah. So, and this was a scheduled ride. We had scheduled this ride whenever we planned our rides for the year. We did 170 miles that day. There were 16 of us on that ride. Left St. Paul Harley, of course. Rode St. Croix Trail, Stagecoach, down River Road in Wisconsin, which is always beautiful, especially this time of the year. No, we didn't go. We went 61 down, didn't we? Hold on. How did we do that ride? We did 61. Yes, we did, because we went down through Hastings, and we did that little ride that we did the day before with the Honda Club.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. And then we went down into Wabasha, crossed the bridge, and stopped and ate in Pepin. So we did a little backwards compared to what other people do.
Yeah.
And then we came up River Road.
River Road is one of those roads in Minnesota, though, that you could ride every weekend and you'd see something different.
Mm-hmm.
You'd forget where you are on it. You can enter it at a million different points. It's just one of those. It's just a nice riding.
And I like, too, on that ride, because riding through Red Wing, it's fun if you have a small group, but there's so many stoplights through Red Wing, Minnesota. That's where they make the boots. There's other things they do, too, but if you're watching and you hear Red Wing, yes, they make boots. Bic. Oh, yeah, the pins and the lighters.
Yeah.
But I took us kind of around that area so we didn't have to stop at all the lights.
Yeah.
So that was fun. And we picked up Aaron down there, too.
Yep.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I'd forgotten about that. Anyway, so yeah, that was the Pepin ride. They have really good pickles at the pickle factory, too.
Oh, my God, they have really good pickles. I didn't think that I thought they'd be all right.
Yeah.
But they were really good.
Yeah, they're really good. And fun fact about people who might be watching this, my friends in Oklahoma and Colorado. We have friends in Colorado that are watching us and stuff, too.
We have friends all over this United States of ours.
We do. Anyway, Pepin is actually part of Mississippi, the Mississippi River, which, not being up here, I don't think about those things. A little geography for you. So, in that is true, because there's been a lot of people that don't think about it. So in Prescott, the St. Croix River and the Mississippi River merge, and it's called, I'll find the word for it, but it starts with an ence. But it's a thing that happens where the waters meet, but they don't merge.
It's crazy because you can see the line of demarcation between the two of them.
Yeah, it's really fascinating. And then so then the Mississippi River goes down, and then falls into Lake Pepin. And then out of Lake Pepin comes the Mississippi River again. So it's really kind of, it's all fascinating to me. But it's beautiful riding either way.
It's
so
gorgeous.
Whenever you're up here. So what I said, that was 170 miles that day. And we did stop for ice cream again.
326. It's 8, 9, 10
I thought you were in the 70s.
I know.
Anyway.
You know. It's down there, up there.
Yeah. I forgot that was the very next day after that.
Yeah. We had a busy weekend that weekend.
We did some ambitious riding that weekend. With that large group of people, so.
Yeah.
Then we did, what did we do after that? Dinner ride, St. Paul Brewing.
2 days later.
Was it Yeah, it was a Tuesday. Oh, ugh. We were trying to get it all in. We're into September now. I think we did more riding in August than September.
Well, and I think there's probably some truth to that. Yeah. Like, hey, it's a nice day. We got to take advantage of it because it's going to end pretty quickly. So.
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't live up here where you have to put your bike away for a period of time, you enjoy it.
Yes. Hibernation sucks.
PMS. Yeah.
So we did St. Paul Brewing. They did the fire-baked pizzas outside. Yeah. I know I didn't say that right. The wood-fired pizza.
Wood-fired,
wood-fired pizza. And they have this truck that They do it outside, and it's like an old brewing company that they've turned into this.
It was the old Hams building,
Okay.
old, I think it was Hams Brewery, I think it was, that they've now knocked down the walls and created a little restaurant inside. It's kind of cool.
And a big, huge outdoor patio. I tell you, one of the things I love about St. Paul not being from here, and I don't get much into Minneapolis, so forgive me, all you Minneapolis people, but there's so much history here. And it's like everywhere you go in St. Paul, it's like something old that's still old, or something old that's been made new, like this.
Yeah,
And
there's
you
a
can
lot of
still
that.
feel the history here. Like, it's very industrial. There's something very romantic about that to me, but that was fun. So I know you're laughing at me.
No, I'm laughing with you. Oh, you weren't laughing.
He's laughing at me. So there was that. Then we did, the roundabout. I mean, the tippy canoe ride.
Shut up. So I'm going to go sentimental a little bit, or like emotional a little bit here for 1 second.
For you? Oh, it's usually me.
I know. In case you hear that music, we are at St. Paul Harley-Davidson right now, and that is the Rockford Fosgate stereo system downstairs.
Yeah, there's a big event going on downstairs. It's the big garage service day where you get to walk around, and
It was pretty cool because it's clear as a bell, and we are upstairs. So if you're wondering if it's a good system, I have one. You should do it.
For now, until she trades her bike in.
And then I'll have to get a different one. But it'll be a red bike.
So,
So I was going to get a little, a little emotional.
Okay.
So there was a time in my 9 years of riding or so that I led tons of rides, mostly with men that I rode with, and then you guys all know the history of kind of getting going with a lady. International Female Ride Day ride, and then that's how we met, and we've kind of moved on since then. But in that time, in probably the last 2 or 3 years, I and we'll talk about this more in some upcoming episodes, but I suffered a little bit from anxiety and depression. And so as part of that anxiety, it debilitated me.
Oh, yeah.
There were, I couldn't find myself to lead a ride very well. I lost like all confidence. And Tippy Canoes was the one that I think you put me back on. So led the ride and was nervous, and but we got through it. And I admittedly don't have much of a sense of direction. don't get teary on us. One of us can't cry.
I'm sorry. It's infectious.
But so got back on it. So I pulled myself up by my bootstraps, and Molly pushed me in front of the group and said, "You got this. Go for it." And so I did. And in my worry about making sure I was keeping everybody safe and getting everybody there and having a good time, I got off on the wrong exit and needed to turn around. And in the midst of turning around, had to go through 2 or 3 roundabouts. So, which I'd like to, in hindsight now, we just say that I was helping the ladies practice how to do roundabouts.
That's exactly what we were doing.
That's what was important that day.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got through the roundabouts and then got over to Tippy Canoes.
That was actually really fun, though. It was really kind of a fun little diversion, because we got kind of separated early in the ride because we had a little helmet mishap.
Yeah, fiasco.
Yeah. And so I had, being the tail of a ride, you have to kind of pay attention when people kind of get left behind. So I pulled off to the side with her and got her all fixed up. And it's always important that you share your routes. So I knew Monica and I, we'd shared the route.
Assuming that Monica follows the route the way it was shared.
Yes. Well, I knew the direction we were going. So I knew she eventually had to be at this one specific bridge to get over into Wisconsin off of 36. So we met back up, and it was just kind of like we met back up right before we did the roundabout practice. So it was kind of nice because it was kind of bringing us all back into formation, and we got our little bit of practice there, and we got back down the road, and it was...
So going forward, if I'm leading and there's a roundabout, we're going to make an extra go around around the roundabout.
Yeah.
In case you're wondering.
It's important to know how to use your rear brakes and your downshifting in curves. at all times, especially in Minnesota.
Oh, boy.
But you know, you got us there, and that was a beautiful ride. That
It
was
was
an
fun.
awesome ride.
It was a good ride.
Now
Ended
the
up being
ride
fun.
back from there, the ride home that night, because you took us in on the Wisconsin side,
Yeah.
and then we came back on St. Croix Trail on the Minnesota side, and it was dark.
It was dark, and we're talking, mid-September
Mm-hmm.
at night
Mm-hmm.
when the creatures are starting to move.
The deer.
Deer,
Mm-hmm.
elk,
Mm-hmm.
just in case.
Yeah. Moose.
Police officers.
Mm-hmm.
But I think all of us were we were moving.
Mm-hmm.
We were still moving pretty good.
Yeah.
It was pitch black. We had some people turn off partway through all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was cold.
It was cold.
It was cold. The sun went
Mhm.
down and it was cold.
Yeah.
And you know what else happened that day at Tippy Canoes?
What?
It was one of the times that we one of the gals had lost her mom.
Oh yeah.
And we all gathered and kind of gave our energy good juju to her
Mhm.
as we were riding home, or as we were taking off. So that was again one of those like incidents where I felt like we came together as a group,
Yeah.
which was kind of fun.
And and also Katie joined us on that ride.
Oh, yeah.
Right before she left to go to Arizona for the winter. Lucky heifer. I say heifer with all of the
the love in the
admiration in
world.
the world because I'm so jealous. But one of the things about this whole movement that we've been fortunate enough to be in front of and help create for this area of the country. I mean, I feel like a lot of people have been watching us this past year, and a lot of people have been inspired by the things that we've done. And I'm going to take credit for that. I am. I'm going to take credit for the fact that Monica and I have started this and created this opportunity for women to kind of step out of their comfort zone and say, you know what, I think I want to plan rides, and I think I want to do some motorcycle related, inspirational, empowering, content, and that's awesome.
And that's always what our dream has been,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Mhm.
when we got together, we never said anything like, it's all about fame and fortune for us.
No.
It wasn't anything about that. It was like giving women someplace to fit in,
someplace to fit in.
knowing that they were always welcomed,
Right.
always room for one more,
Always.
and inspiring and lifting and encouraging. We've had women who are now starting to lead their own rides that were just like, cool.
I could never do that. I that is so brave. I could never do that, and now they are.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
It's a beautiful
it's
thing.
all in the plan.
Mhm.
We didn't know it was part of the plan, but it's working out to be the plan.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
So after that, the season started kind of winding down a little bit. We did do the Dallas trip in October.
Yep.
And we're going to talk about that on the next episode.
Because it's a big one.
It is.
It's a big one, and it was so fun, and it was just so enlightening. It was such
Yeah.
a cool weekend.
It was an experience, I think, that every one of us that were on that trip will carry with us forever. There
Yep.
were just so many connections
Yep.
and moments. But then Monica and I did, okay, fun fact about me. I love queso. I don't know if you can tell by...
She loves queso.
I'm going to daisy.
And we're back.
We had a little technical difficulty. The camera decided to daisy me as it
As she was talking about her
anticipated my queso
big-
love.
barrels of queso that she loves.
Yes,
That's what you were going to say, right?
absolutely.
Okay.
Okay. Off camera just now, Monica and I had a little conversation about her moment about Tippy Canoe. And I did not know, just so that you guys are aware, while it was my plan to get her back in front of rides at that point, I didn't realize that it had that kind of impact on her. So we hadn't really talked about it until just now.
No.
So
Surprise.
that was really kind of a beautiful moment. I don't know, I'm still affected by it, so welcome to my mind. Now we're going to talk about queso, damn it.
Queso.
Because queso makes everybody happy. End of the
does.
season.
Yeah.
It was kind of getting cold. I called you on one weekday and I was like, hey, can we plan a ride, like to go to dinner or something while it's still nice? And you were like, yeah, where do you want to go? And I said, Mexican.
Queso.
Queso. So we like Monica said a while ago, you can do River Road over and over again and it never gets old. That's what we did. We did Stagecoach Trail, St. Croix Trail, rode down to Red Wing and had some Mexican food. We got rained on the way back.
Oh, remember that?
Yes, it was torrential rain on the way back.
Torrential.
And, it was cold.
And the way we were coming back, which would have been the fastest way to come back, was closed down. So we had to use these back roads that are beautiful when it's not raining. But when it's raining, it's, little critters all over the place. And it was dark, and it was raining, and it was cold.
Oh, gosh. I had forgot about that till just now.
In fact, at one point, I'm like... I communicated to her. We
pulled off to the side of the road
and said, "Would you like to come to my house instead?" And initially it was yes. Yeah. But then we got past the rain.
Yeah. Then we got past the rain and we went on ahead and went. Yeah. But that was something. We did 90 miles that evening. That was fun. Oh.
That was just down to dinner and back.
Yeah. We might have to go get queso when we get done here.
Yeah. Queso. I hear her calling. Listen.
Yes.
Yep. I heard it.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Okay. After the queso ride. So I had this grand idea. For those of you who follow us, and I have, I've been doing these little silly TikTok videos. I'm not going to tell you my idea because I don't want any y'all heifers stealing them. Still going to do it.
Heifer with love, by the way.
Heifer with love. Always with love. But it was Halloween. It was October 30th, and so we planned this ride to go. I've been wanting to go to this restaurant. What's it called? Smokin' Oak?
The Smokin' Oak.
Yeah. And so we planned a ride, Monica and I did, to go to the Smokin' Oak, and we were going to stop and do this little TikTok video for Halloween.
We'll do it next year.
And then I got sick.
Yes, she did.
And I couldn't go. But we'd already planned the ride.
And yet another plan to get me in front of riding
yes.
again.
Yes.
So didn't have much of a choice on that.
No. In fact, because there were like 12 or 13 of you on that ride. And so we couldn't cancel it. I mean, we would never do that if we can avoid it. So Monica led that ride, and they went down to Smokin' Oak, and they had a really good time. They had
we had an interesting conversation with the people at the table next to us. There were a bunch of clowns, both literally and figuratively. They were clowns from the what's that clown company called?
In the little cars where they do the parades.
The Shriners, Shriner clowns. It was weird and uncomfortable and inappropriate, and we moved on from it. It was kind of fun though when it got inappropriate to watch the whole table surround and ward off all of the inappropriateness. It was kind of interesting.
Just one more way we come together, in that atmosphere that's been created. That we're just
it was cool.
Yeah.
But it was a good ride. It was nothing, I would say nothing super significant, except it was fun to get all the ladies together again. It was going to be probably one of the last times.
It was the last ride. It was the last group ride that we did.
Yeah.
Or that you did. That we planned and you executed because I was in bed. And then from there, Friendsgiving.
Well, I would say that was another, even though it wasn't a ride, it was a highlight for sure of the season for me.
We wanted to do something holiday related, bring everybody together to end the season, allow an opportunity for women who hadn't ridden with us this season to come and get to know us without the pressure of riding. Monica hosted because she's so gracious and she does it, so we had a potluck. I'm so gracious when she does it. I don't know what that meant. Why did I say that?
I don't know. I'm not sure, but I went with it. It sounded like a compliment, so I'm going with it.
She was so gracious and she hosted is what I think I was trying to say.
We did have a potluck, and we had, of course, in Minnesota fashion, I'm not sure if this is all states do it this way, but my God, did we have a lot of food.
Yeah.
Oh, we had so much food. We had a whole area just for desserts. Pecan bars.
Shona.
Oh,
help me, Shona. Help
I
me.
made...
Those pecan bars were delicious.
I made...
Oh, and those little...
sheet cakes full of them this year.
Those little...
those...
that Lori brought.
Yeah, those little individual shot thingies. Oh yeah. And then there was the raspberry one too. Oh yeah, there was...
Well, anyway, yeah. It was a good time. But what was the most beautiful about it is, here's a picture of all of us. that we took off of the back deck at Monica's house. But as we were kind of wrapping things up, we all gathered together in Monica's living room, and we went around the room and we talked about one thing we were grateful for this year. And I'm going to get emotional.
Your turn.
Feeling that you, like, starting this whole thing out with Monica. Whenever I moved up here, I didn't know anybody. I met Teresa Nip through a Facebook group, and she was my first friend before I moved up here. And then I started working at Harley, and I was given the opportunity to connect with Monica, and we started kind of sharing our passion and creating this. I call it a movement because I don't know what else to call it. Women were yelling out, we want opportunities to ride. We want opportunities to meet other women that ride. We want someone to organize rides. We want a place where we can feel welcome and where we can feel included, and there are no stipulations or expectations.
No judgment.
No judgment. Exactly. And the fact that to listen to a room full of women go around and talk about how that's how they feel and that's what they've experienced, it's overwhelming to me. It's just beautiful. I mean, if we had the opportunity to impact the world the same way that we've had the opportunity to create this impact here, I just can't imagine the difference that it would make. So, and I know I've talked about this before, but for me, riding is a mental health thing. It's saved me in so many ways, and it's helped me to redefine who I am and who I should be and who I want to be. And it's allowed me to align myself with people who share the same ideas and the same passions. And there's just not enough that I can say about that. There's just not enough.
Right.
I mean,
agreed. I don't know that I can add anything better onto that. It was overwhelming to hear how absolutely positive this has impacted so many people. And what was super cool to me is that there were even women there that had never ridden with us, and women who just talked about wanting to ride with us, and to think that they were brave enough to come to a stranger's home with a group to connect with a group of women that they didn't know for sure they would be cliquey or not, or territorial or not, or whatever, like they didn't know what they were walking into. And they came in, and as far as I know, everybody walked away feeling like, yep, I would spend some more time with you, basically. Like, I'll ride with you, I'd like to hang out with you, I'd like to know more about you. And then we even saw, like, more and more people get invited to Lady Riders in Minnesota, which is the group that kind of is for the Minnesota folks here. But so it was all good. I think there's nothing bad that came of it, and it was, again, a nice way to end the season.
Yeah, it was. It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Yep, it was. Nice job. High five.
High five.
All right.
So that's that for now.
So I think we're going to have some, that you probably saw tons of pictures. We'll probably have some more pictures that come after for all of this, because we can never decide what pictures to put in, so we throw them at the end.
Yeah.
So you should always watch this all the way to the end till it hits.
And sometimes there's bloopers. It just kind of depends, because we start recording before we start recording to kind of capture, the goofy stuff that we do. We did sing.
We sing.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Horribly. I don't know the words. I know the tune. Have you seen those TikToks that they're doing now, where they do, like, you dance to the words and then you dance to the music? Like, there's two people, like, one person's dancing to the words.
Oh, yeah.
One person.
I've not seen it with the words and the music. I've seen it, maybe I have, but I've seen it with, like, the beat versus the
that.
blah, blah. Yeah.
That's kind of what
we
we
should
did.
try one of those.
I have so many ideas.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a good one.
I do.
Okay.
Yes. So, okay, well, next episode is going to be a recap of the Wisconsin Dells trip, like we said. Then,
oh, yeah. Wisconsin Dells was so fun.
It was.
And then we'll do Colorado.
Colorado's going to be big.
Colorado was a big one. It was just, the whole experience was just a riot.
Yeah.
So every part of it was just fun.
Yeah.
Everything from how we even went to
how
coming home.
How we got there. Yeah. We tried to be sneaky. It didn't work, but we'll, you'll
tell you about that.
So,
All right.
all right.
So that's it for today.
That's it for today. Thanks for joining us.
Smith and Waker,
Out.
have a good one. Bye.
Bye. Recording this.
It's the time of the season when love runs high. In this time, give it to me easy and let me try with pleasured hands to take you in the sun to promised lands, to show you everyone.
Ready, sing it.
It's the time of the season for loving.
I love that video. It's a lot.
It's the time of the season when love runs high. In this time, give it to me easy and let me try with pleasured hands to take you